So with me here to talk over the top of these pictures is Paul Rubenstein, who heads up the Australia-Israel Jewish Affairs Council. Paul, 15 people dead, dozens more in hospital, and some of them in a critical condition. Give us your thoughts on what this means to the community and how you think you'll cope.
Well, Chris, I think unfortunately, as a lot of people in the community have been saying, that this is a really big shock, but unfortunately not unexpected. We've been talking about, the possibility of someone actually getting killed, but what's actually happened is really everybody's worst nightmare. I think a lot of people are feeling particularly vulnerable and unsafe. But we're resilient and we obviously have to respond to it, and let's just hope that today is really some sort of a turning point in Australia where people can understand what's really...
We're seeing just behind us now Chris Minns there with the opposition leader Kelly Sloan and the Governor and other ministers and the Police Commissioner laying wreaths. Of course, it's a good thing that they are doing this and recognising the wound here and recognising those lives lost. What more do you want from the Premier in particular?
Well, I think the sentiment that generally has been spoken about by many people in the Jewish community is we've had a lot of talk and there's been a lot of sentiment, and there have been some good things done both federally and at the state level, but it's time for action. There's no longer a need to prevaricate on certain legislation in New South Wales, and especially in adopting the recommendations federally of Gillian Siegel. It's actually time to just get on with it and start doing it, because the community is kind of tired, I think, of actually just hearing talk.
Synagogues burned, shops vandalised, people threatened, now 15 innocent people killed. Do you feel like you're being hounded out of Australia?
Well, we're not being hounded out of Australia, but people are starting to question, and they have been for a while, but particularly so now, is this a safe place for us to live? I mean, I'm a fourth generation of Australian. My family came to Australia 150 years ago. Why should I'm an Australian just like everyone else. There were 15 Australians were killed here yesterday.
Yep.
They happened to be Jewish, but they were Australians. Why should we be thinking about leaving this country for for an unprecedented circumstance in Australia where we have community group against community group? We have 15 Australians killed by other Australians. That is a place which a lot of people in the Jewish community find to be extremely difficult to sort of understand. Children, you think, what is the future for them? It's very unclear and uncertain.
Anti-Semitism has many forms, but we are addressing in the Middle East and here Islamist extremism. Why is it that our government, especially the Prime Minister, seems unable to talk about this scourge and confront it?
Well, it's obviously the elephant in the room. What we have in Australia is I think what we've actually got at government level, it's not that there's an unwillingness or a malevolence, but there's, I think, a difficulty in actually defining what the evil is and speaking openly about what it is and dealing with it.
If you can't even talk about it, how do you confront it and defeat it?
Correct. To actually deal with a problem, you've got to identify the problem, and I think that's really the problem here.
Paul, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
Paul Rubenstein there from the Australia-Israel Jewish Affairs Council.